This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So only Najir, Raymond joined, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in the last, just to recapitulate, in the last few classes, what we have seen, what part of framework we have seen, and can you recall?
Hybrid framework, modularization, data-driven phase and object.
Hybrid framework, yes, but as part of hybrid framework, we have started modularization. Yes, we have completed actually modularization, and keyword driven also we have seen. Right? Keyword driven means, what does it mean by modularization? First of all, dividing the whole project into modules,
Yes.
like small pieces, small categories, you can say, so like this. And keyword driven means, what is actually keyword driven? Keywords are nothing but function names. So these are keywords, depart, flight. So we have created reusable functions and use them. So in my other test cases, I can call them as many times. So one time I just define, and many times I can call. So keyword driven is nothing but a reusability concept, right?
Yes.
Reusability, reusable functions actually. Specifically, reusable methods, let's call it, our functions. So that's where modularization means. This is basically for maintainability. Modularization, what is it used for? Maintainability. Spelling is correct. So modular maintainability in the sense, you can easily maintain. If you want to change something in the definition, you go there and change just once, even though it is called many times. So you don't have to change 100 times. So that is a maintainability. And keyword driven means reusable methods. Reusability actually. So instead of reusable, okay, let's, what it serves a purpose, that's reusability. And oh, it's already written. Yeah. Oops, already written. Okay, I'm just putting them in the order, I guess. Okay, let's use purpose. Modularization is first because that's how we have seen that order. And then we have introduced use utility based. So what are utilities actually? Useful methods, right? So like, I want to calculate the date. Today we will see how to get the timestamp, current timestamp, how to take a screenshot, how to write something into the file. So all these things come under utility. So like the name suggests, it's a utility, and how to create a, like, encrypt, decrypt passwords, how to report, how to read and write to database, and blah blah blah. So these are all useful methods. Utility means, so basically it will save your time quickly. In order to do something, you don't have to again write the piece of code for that in your test, but just call it. Okay, so then data driven. So what does it mean by data driven? So this actually serves the purpose of, if you recall, in the black box testing techniques, one of which is BVA and ECP, right? Boundary value analysis and equivalence class partitioning. Remember? So that actually we took like min, min minus one, min plus one. So basically it covers all combinations, all permutations. So likewise, if you want to, like, it's both parameterization and you can run the same test case on a multiple sets of data, just to avoid that paranoia that one set of data might not work. So you just cover it, and that is only possible by automation because it takes less time in execution. Manually, if you do the data driven, it takes long time. So data driven basically serves the purpose of what? Parameterization, I can say. Parameterization and black box. Black box has many, so let's call it boundary value. Boundary value testing. But that means all boundary values you can test. So page objects actually comes, I would say, part of modularization itself. So I would incorporate internability, page objects. Page objects are also kind of modularized, right? Because they are put in a separate module, and you can maintain them easily in case any XPath change it by developers. You can easily change your XPath in case any object property change. I mean, okay. So today we will okay. What about others? I mean, are they joining or just skipping to this class? Okay. So we have seen the no logs also, right? Logs enhanced. So we will just incorporate something else in the logs. So what I will do is I will create a timestamp method. Okay. So timestamp method will basically give current time in whatever format you want, right? So then I'll be able to incorporate it in the logs so that it will show in what time the particular action has been performed. So let's do that. I just commented because there was some dependency issues. So let me just uncomment it. So I can easily comment the whole class just by block commenting. Okay, so do not worry about these errors. These are because the jars were missing Joda time. Okay, so mainly I use Joda because Joda is very efficient in calculating different manipulations with data. You can play with dates in the sense that you can add date and current date to I can get first of next month, what is the day, and I can get 2 days from now what would be the date, and I can get next year's first of the month, whatever. You can basically play with your data. I can add hours, add minutes, and add seconds. So basically this will be useful. Okay, so the point is if I want to use or utilize those Joda jar methods, I need to download the Joda jar, right? So let me show you quickly. So all the jars I have stored in this C drive only, drivers. Okay, so we have already seen libraries all here, but external libraries I have stored in somewhere here. So let's guys, there are not, otherwise I will add. So for example, if there is you need a jar, all you have to do is download it and add it to your build path. So I'll just Joda jar downloads. So and you wanna download the latest version, so I can go over there. If it is Maven, you can just add the dependency artifact ID and its name. That's it. So I'm going to download the latest version. So Joda time 2.10.1. That's the latest version. If you want to take a look at source code, you can download a zip, but that's not really required for us. You can just, using Joda, I actually created user-defined my own custom method. So it will be easily readable and callable easily and maintainable too. Okay. So let me just cut it and paste it over here. Okay, so Joda is readily available now. Now what I'll do is I have to add it to my build path, right? How do I add jars to my build path? Just right click on the project and build path, configure build path. Okay, so these libraries are all Selenium libraries, right? In the beginning, we have downloaded the whole Selenium jar that comes with lib. So I added these external libraries, which are these. That means which are basically used for utility functions. So all the libraries are these. Okay, not these. Yeah, so these, sorry, yeah, these are the ones. And client combined, this is the main Selenium jar, and the required libraries already there, and these are all additional. That means extra if you want. These are not mandatory. These are mandatory. These, and these. Okay, and these are drivers anyway mandatory. But these are all optional, but you can use them. So I have just downloaded all the required jars one time. So these are like 154 jars. If you want, I can put it in the Google Drive. You can download. So Joda time is also available back then. This was the last year. So at the time, the version is 2.4. So if you just take a look, the version currently is 2.10.1, so which is the upgraded version. So let me add this to it. So what I'll do is I created the user library here already. So what I'll do is I'll just edit it. Okay. So these are all available, but I'll just edit it. So here user libraries and external, and I'm going to add external jar. Okay, so these are residing. These do not worry about external. This is just for reference. I don't want to add all the jars because it would like minimize the performance. So just now I added this Jura time, then add this, finish, apply, and okay. So as soon as I added, all the errors are gone. See, at least the errors pertaining to the Jura time. Now let's see what are the other errors. Okay, so these are just commenting errors. Because I commented in bulk, so these occur. So I will just add a class level comment and add the client. And these are useful because you can easily read it later. Okay, so the main purpose of this DateUtils is to create date and time related utility functions. Okay, so let me first, okay, all are related to same thing. So I'll just remove these, and these are necessary annotations. So let me, oh, so these are actually comments only. Okay, so let me remove these and just add a regular comment. So this occurred because of the bulk comment. Moment of this. All the line breaks keep coming. Not sure why this wouldn't go. So okay, so Let me delete this. Why this occurred? Because okay, I know why. Okay. So just this one. I'll just add. So still there is one error. So this is ending here, but there is still one line. Maybe there is extra character. Just hover over it, syntax run tokens, delete these tokens. So what is this token thing? Okay, so that error came because of some extra character invisible. So I just deleted the whole line and added. So anyways, so I created some functions like date utility functions. I'll just explain briefly and we will concentrate on one. So if I want to get current date, okay. So there are a couple of classes available in the Java JDK itself. So some I'm using from Joda, some I'm using from JDK. Okay, mostly 19% Joda. Okay, so local date is a class available in Joda itself, and I'm just creating an instance. And .now function returns my current date. Okay, so I just want to format the current date may not be in the existing desired format. So using datetime formatter. All right, so there is a function called for pattern, and whatever pattern I pass, it will return me this date in the same pattern like mmddyy. So if I pass, it will provide me same format. If I provide in ddymdyy, it will return me a date in the same format. So, and I'll just print that date format.print date will print it, and date string I can print it. So date string is basically it's in a string format, the date in the form of string. So then I'll be able to print it. So basically I'll like to return it, so I'll return it. So wherever I want to get the current date, just the current date, then I can use get current date. Okay, now get current timestamp. So timestamp includes time also, date and time. So all I need to do is just use a simple date format instance, and it takes desired date format in local US. Okay, so current US or any time zone you can forward. So US or dot local. Just stuck. Okay, so you can pass anything. Canada or French, UK. So I would like to get local, yes, and format to date, and it will simply return me the whole timestamp. Okay, same thing if I want to get date time difference between two dates, like if I give today's date and tomorrow's date, the difference would be 1 day. Likewise, so start date time, end date time. For example, my test case started at so and so time and ended at so and so time, and I want to get the total duration of the test, then I can use this get time date time difference. Exactly, it will return me like 0 days, 2 hours, 3 minutes, 5 seconds, like that. So same thing here. I am using simple date format and format date time in whichever format I want to. I can pass it. So you cannot pass any format. I'll show you while calling. So like dd y. Okay, so this would be the format for date. Time will be HHM min or SS, something like that. Okay, so the ideal date time format is somewhere, yeah. So I have already written like this. So just put the slash or hyphen you can put, okay, so that I cannot put here. So mmdd by hh mmss, that would be the format. So when you're passing, you can pass D means just one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want 2 digits like 0, 1, 0, 2, you can put DD and Y, HH, MM, SS. So this would be. Okay, so back to here. So we can also get date time differences. Okay, so finally it will return minutes dot minutes between. So I am calculating minutes, seconds, and dividing by 0. Okay, so that would give me minutes, and seconds divided by 60, again it would give me seconds. Minutes. So then I am simply printing the time difference between so and so dates and times is so and so minutes and seconds. That's all I need, because my test case doesn't take hours. I mean hours it will take, but not days. But in terms of even though it's 2 hours, I can print like 120 minutes and so. So this can be fully customized. So finally I'm returning the minutes, seconds, the whole string I am returning, so that I can print it at the end of the test case. And if I want to add some hours to date time, so simply there is a function called plus hours. Today's date, local date times instance, I can just plus hours and I can add 2, 3 hours. N is the number of hours you want to add in whichever date format you want to. So we will see this quickly. Date time minus date, same thing, plus or minus. I can add years, I can add my years, minutes, seconds, whatever. So this is the comprehensive function. Date time plus or minus. So plus or minus, why did I say? Because I can just put minus and I can get it. If I don't put any symbol, it will always be plus. And I can add years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds. So total. So this, you don't need this much, but this is a comprehensive function. So if I don't need to add or subtract years, I can put 0. So I don't need to add or subtract, forcibly. So finally I am printing it to console, like this many years have been added, and final product, final result. And I am simply returning the string. So this will be returning. And okay, so here I can quickly test in the same class. I created a public static void main function, so I can test. So date time plus hours, I am adding 2 hours to the current time, and in this format I want. Okay, let's see that. So current time plus 2 hours, EST, I guess. Let's see, plus minus days, 5 days minus backward, and plus years, but I'm putting minus 2, that will be minus again. So 2 years backward. So whether it will return or not, everything is returning, and printing too. I'm also printing. Okay. So since I'm printing, you don't have to again print it explicitly. And date plus or minus years, months, the comprehensive one, I am just entering 1 year, 2 months, 3 weeks, 4 days, 2 hours, 15 minutes, 10 seconds in this format, hyphen mmdd by hhmmss. And same thing, plus or minus years, I am passing minus 5 years. So our main concentration would be 2, because this is where I'm going to call. So I'll also call this get current timestamp. Okay, get current date, get current timestamp, and get date time difference. So let's call those two. So how would I call? Get current date. Okay, so desired date format would be, what format you want? Let's say /bd y. Okay, so this would return me today's date. Right? And one more function is get. Get is easier because I want to get, so I didn't put anything in between, I mean before or after. So get or set, that's all you need. So get current timestamp will return me the whole thing. So this will be useful for logging purpose. Okay, so what format you want? Yes, what format you want? Same format, mmdd y, then hh:mm minutes : seconds. Okay, let's get timestamp in this format, but you can change always. And finally, the time duration we can use get date time difference. Okay. So start date, end date, and format. So format the date time difference. I can this one, and start date time. I have to pass current date. Let's say. So current date, and let's say I just took 1 hour. Let's say just for the debugging purpose, I'll just add 1 hour to it. Okay, and so this will return me the date. Okay, so the reason I am as it is passing the whole function because this return me a string. So I am passing a function into a function. Okay, so that's because it is just returning me a string and this needs a string. Okay, so let's try to run it and see. Somewhere there is an error. Maybe, yeah, it needs, because this can throw exception I can include in the try catch. That will be easier. So just surround with try catch block. Okay. Now let's run this test case. And then we will use these functions once we test out. Okay. Okay. Most of them worked except for the last one. That's what I thought. 81. The last one in 119. Yeah. The last one didn't work because I didn't pass the exact current date time MMDDYY, right? And date time difference instead. Okay, so this is actually returning me date time. This is only date, so I'm missing the time here. So let's put a same format in the same format MMDDYY HHMMSS. Okay, so what I'll do is plus hours, instead of adding plus hours I'll just add 0 hours, so that way it is current date, and plus hours 2 is a 2 hours from now. Okay, so let's run it quickly and I'll explain the output. Okay, still some passing exception is occurring for the last one, so don't worry about the last one. This will only work real time because I'm passing the actual time, and which may not be the pass exception. Why this is thrown pass exception instead? I'll just put exception. Okay, so yeah, so far that's successful. And first thing is date time plus hours. So today's date is November 1st, 2018 in the same format MMDDYY, and plus hours. How many hours added? 2 hours. So 23 hours in 24 hours format. Okay. And I can also get in the 12-hour format. Okay. So just you need to pass the appropriate format. And minus days. Minus days. How many days I subtracted? 5 days. So 5 days if subtracted would be October 27th. And time is currently 8:30. Yeah, 9:30 EST, right? 9:30, 28 seconds. And plus years, I am subtracting actually, so it would be 2016 minus years plus years, but I am subtracting 2. This would be a good example. So instead, if you want plus years, actually minus years, I created minus years and pass plus 2. So this is just like a different kind of example I wanted to do. Okay, then plus or minus years once and so, and so these many years, that would give rise to this date 2020. And date, and I just entered final block in the same function just to see it's entering or not. So it is entering, so you don't need to worry about this. Same thing here. And current timestamp is current date, November 1st, 2018, right? And current timestamp, current date is okay, but current timestamp we did not get current timestamp. So let's see. So this was never called. Current timestamp is this one. Current date is this one. Oh, I actually wrote timestamp, so that is just current date. Timestamp should include time also, right? So current timestamp is never called, even though it is uncommented. Let's see. Okay, so let me comment all of this because we have already seen this. Let me just delete this extra line. Okay, so I'll just run this one. Run. So it's not even calling. What is wrong with this? Let's see. Okay, because I commented this is out. That's why. So current timestamp is timestamp. Okay. Now it's commented. Okay, so current timestamp is 11/01/2018, 20 hours 33 seconds 46. Okay, so let's use this and date the difference we will see in real time. So what I'll put is I'll just put this one as is in the logs. So that would be log everything, right? So where is our LogUtils here? All right. So I am just printing the message. So what I'll do is to the message I'll append this timestamp. So tell me, how do I call the timestamp here? Raymond. So how do I call this timestamp here? The function, how would I call?
And minute, everything is put together.
So that I can call using class name because it's a static. Let's go back and see. So this is a static method I created so that it would be easier for me to call by column. So get current timestamp in the desired format will give me this, and I want to append to the log and see. Okay, so now I want to call this. Okay, how would I call? I'll go to the log. I'm calling the method in this class to the method in this class, the same package. Okay, tell me, how would I call? So what is the class name? Date. Don't worry about this message. I'll append this message. Date utils, right? DateUtils. That's the one. Dot. What method I want to call for the timestamp? Get current timestamp. And what is the desired format you want? Yeah, what is the desired format? DD YYYY SS. You can change this in whichever way we want to. Like I can just put DD YY. So let's just use the standard one. And now what I'll do is I'll just run the test case and see if it is working or not. And always for the latest hybrid framework, you have to run the TC2 hybrid framework, because in the modularization framework, I'm not calling any of these details. So always run the TC2. Okay, let's see. While it is running also we can see, but it's okay. And it's taking the screenshots also, remember. So that's already over, so I'm not going into that again. We will see at the end again the screenshots. So today we have just gone over the DateUtils, date and time, how to create them, and you can also modify them according to your needs and use them. Okay. So what happened? Did it log? Yes, it did. Okay, current timestamp is so and so, current timestamp is so and so. Okay, every time it is returning me current timestamp. That's why I did not print it, right? I just wanted here, okay? And it is not appended properly, right? It's mixed up. Timestamp and set text do for, okay? So let's modify it a little bit, okay? And we don't need this out. This is just for the debugging purpose, right? That's why I commented. Now coming back to LogUtils, and I will here nicely add a separator like a pipe. Okay, so that will look nice. And then message. Okay, this is a space before. Now let's rerun, and you won't see the current timestamp every time, so it looks awkward. And the time is changing, like 40th second, 41st second, the second line executed, and 41st second. There are multiple lines, so you can see the speed of it. Multiple operations are done in the single second. Almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let me rerun the test case. Always save sources before launching, it won't bug you again, so just check that box. So this almost took like less than a minute, 30 seconds, whole test case is executed. Okay, now let's take a look at the logs clearly. Okay, so this looks better. So registration, and the first login started at 11 November 1st, 2018. 20 hours, 38 minutes, 31 seconds. 20 hours, you can always convert it to like 8 o'clock currently in my time. So it takes a system time. So for your time, if you're running on your laptop, it could be 9:38, okay, or 21. And we can change this format always, like 24-hour format, 12-hour format. I'll show you. And okay, so the action performed this we have already seen, and you can see easily. And for example, I want to know there is a mistake done in the flight finder page, and this was submitted this particular time, and I can just go and check the developer logs at this time. It would be easier for me. So that's hence the logging is very important. We can use log4j also, the jar, but it's not really required. That's only for developer. So I just made a custom logging. So this will be sufficient for us. And depart flight, so and so, and not every action is appended with time, only for the actions which I'm using calling from the infrastructure function. So these are just sysouts. So I don't have to put the sysouts. So the validations and everything do not have timestamp. So and finally screenshot is captured. Okay, screenshot thing we are storing in which folder basically? The screenshots, Selenium log screenshots, and captions are stored here. All the captions are written. Okay, and captions have the timestamp to November 1st, 20. Okay, so now what we will do. Okay, so we will actually move to the. Okay, everybody is okay with the date time utils, right? You can play with this date utils. Okay, and you can if you want to play the time in 24 hours, you can do that. Okay, that is for your homework. This is in 24-hour format. So just pause, make it 12-hour format, like. So you figure out, you just Google it and see, just pause that one. Okay, so that is for homework. So you have to work on it. Okay, now let's go for data driven concept. Okay, I can explain all the utils, but it's taking a lot of time. Do you want to go over a few more utils and then jump to the data driven or direct data driven? I'll just go over them, okay, so that we'll cover the utils. Okay, so this file system utils I'm mainly using for creating folder, creating files, reading files, normal files, not property files. So if I want to create a folder, okay, so I can just call this create folder. So I'm just using make directory function. First I'm creating a file is a file class which deals with all things, folders, files, paths, and everything. So there's a function called make directory. Okay, so first I'm checking whether the directory exists or not. If it doesn't exist, if not folder.exist, then I'll create one folder by make directory, and that's it. Folder is created. Okay, folder is not created, then it will print this one. And then create a file like notepad file or any file. I can create the same thing in a similar fashion. So instead of folder, I'll just append the file to folder path. That would give me the file name. So basically, folder you can think of as a folder without file, and file is folder plus file. So file name plus extension. So this extension dot txt dot whatever you want to just pass it, dot jpg dot png whatever. So I can give file name and extension. Just don't give dot, because dot is a I have already given as part of my file. Okay, and folder path with the double slash and everything, and file will be created. Only two. So these are useful for let's say final report where I want to store, where I want to create. For each test case I can create a separate folder and separate file, so that will be useful for later. So you can try to debug this one. Okay, or you want me to test it out quickly? Do you want to test it out? Where we can test it out? TC debugging, right? Okay, so let's test it out here. Okay, how do I call that file? System utils. I can call directly by class name. Oh, so don't go for the Apache. These are mine, utils package. Always look for. I can go for this one also, file system utils, but I have created my only two functions. I don't want to go for the Apache. So it will take the utils, or you can import just to differentiate in those two. Dot create folder. Let's create folder. So all we have to give is a folder path, right? So I want to give this folder path. Okay, so in this I will give one more. Let's say, what do you want to call it? My folder. And always use the escape character. Now one more is utils dot, instead of create folder, I'll create a file. Create file. So create file takes two more parameters, right? File name, my file, comma extension. So what extension you want? Take txt. Okay. So let's check this. Okay, so don't worry about screenshot capture. I didn't add logs for this maybe. So my folder is created, right? And my file is created too. My folder, my file, because I put the wrong name. So that's okay. Anyway, file is created with the empty contents. So that's okay. So in order to avoid that, just put double slash here. It will create just my file. So if it is already there, it will overwrite. File is created successfully. Folder is not created because folder is already there. Okay, now I created a file inside the folder, right? My file is created inside my folder because my folder I have given double slash, so it will be inside. Okay, so that will be file system utils. That's all. Folder creation, file creation. That's all we need. And I'll just go over property utils. We have already seen screenshot utils. We have already seen report utils. Yes, we have already seen string utils. You can go over, we can add. We have already seen substring, right? So we can add more on the need basis. Like you can play with like character rate and everything, right? So that you can add if you want to. We can add. And ExcelUtils later. This is dealing with XML for the web service testing. So password utils, let's see, that is left, and then we'll go to ExcelUtils with the data driven. Okay, so let me just uncomment these because it was showing dependency errors. Okay, lot of errors, right? Control Z. Instead, what I'll do is Control A, Control Shift backslash. Yeah, that would be nice. Because if I actually delete manually, it will throw a lot of errors, right? Okay, so all I need is some jars. Let's see where the exact exceptions are. Base 64 jar. Okay, and so I just want to use only two, encrypt string and decrypt string. Okay, so that's all we need, and only two are there. Generate keys inside. So base 64 Apache tools. Let's see. Base 64. Maybe I have them already. Okay. Apache should have it. Let's see if it's really required or not, because these are already there in the Java. Okay, two are really required. Base 64 I do need it. Okay, so I can actually import it from base 64 Java utils. Just seeing Apache Commons Java utils. I think Java utils only. Okay, so if you actually import the wrong package, your method is not available. So just Control G and back to the same. Then let's try this Apache. Okay, still same thing. So it's not available, or method signature is different. Okay, same thing. Base 64. Okay, so we can see this example later. So this is the algorithm, basically how to cipher this and decipher this. This algorithm will be used. It's a basic algorithm. So all I'm doing is just passing a string and asking it to encrypt it and give it back to me. Okay, so using this base 64 and algorithm, I'm simply encoding these bytes. Each byte is nothing but each character, right? If I pass like Selenium SELENIUM, so it will take each character and convert it to something else based on this algorithm and return me, so that if anybody looks at that, it's meaningless unless you decrypt it. So the encrypted value I'm simply just returning, simple. So and decrypting, I'm passing this same encrypted string, and it's gonna decode it and return me back the original one. So this used for the password storage. So wherever, if I'm using like database password in the configuration file, somewhere property file, I can encrypt it and put that encryption string. So when I'm logging into database for connection, I'll use a decrypt string and pass that encrypted string wherever it will decrypt, and so nobody will see your password, and automatically the code takes care of it and your test case pass. So that's the main intention. So however, base 64 I am not able to use. Apache Apache Commons is used probably. This is for logging. This ANT, right? Commons. Okay, so if you want to get any jar, just go somewhere. I mean, here there is java2yes.com too. You can go there, or just type in the this one, java2yes.com, or you can just type in the Google. So which jar? So I want base 64. Yeah, encoded jar. So mostly it will take you to that. So I can directly download it. Okay, let me open. So base 64, probably this is the one. I am not sure. Extract. Okay, let's extract to documents. Or C drive. So let me add this. If it works, fine. It's base 64, right? Let me add this. How do you add any jar? Right click. I mean, go to properties directly. It is useful for you. Libraries and external libraries are the ones I'm using. Edit it and user libraries. Then add external jars. Base 64. That's the one I added just now. Finish apply. Okay. Okay, so did it change anything? No, right? So that's the wrong jar basically. So let's Apache Commons. Okay, Apache base 64. Let's go for okay. Let's try to search again. Encoder probably, yeah, that's the one. Base 64 decoder, not decoder, encoder and decoder. Yeah, download org Apache Commons. Yep, that's the one. Oh yeah, so that should be it. Extract to C drive. Okay, so you can delete this and I will add this to external Apache Commons codec. Just remember this. So basics 4 I'll remove first. I can remove from here and add. What was the name? We just now added org.apache commons codec. So let's try. If it's not working, I'll tell you in the next class. Don't worry. Okay, so that's not the jar 2. It's totally different. Apache commons codec. Maybe this guy. Okay, so do not worry. So let's see it in the next class. I'll just comment this guy. Oh, are these errors or somewhere there? Okay, 1 second. I have to uncomment these two. Yeah, but the error remains base 64. Okay, and I cannot. Yep. Okay. So let me just comment it so that it won't throw error. Okay, so let's concentrate on the data driven because that is important, at least for hybrid framework. So why we have to data drive? Because I am passing the data. If I take the registration, I am passing the data right here, which is not good because this test case data might need to be changed anytime. And this test case I want to run on the 2 or 5 sets of data, let's say, and just by passing like this, it won't let me, right? So every time it will run on the same data. Instead, I want to use different sets of data and which I want to modify, update frequently. So that is only possible if I put this data in the Excel spreadsheet, XLS file or Excel file or XLSX file or CSV file. And for that we have to use a utility which I have created called ExcelUtils. Let me just uncomment this. Okay, so this Excel utility is basically to read from XLS or XLSX. We don't need to write back. So write back we can maintain manually. So but reading automatically is important. Okay, so Apache POI provides jars, which basically has classes like HSSF sheet, HSSF workbook, HSSF row. So the whole spreadsheet HSSF workbook is in each spreadsheet you have workbooks, right? So those and read the row, so entire row for the particular test case, and that will read automatically all the columns in a particular row. All these things are in the HSSF. HSSF basically stands for is dealing with XLS files, and nowadays XLSX format is also introduced by Microsoft Office. So that for that we have to use XSSF. So I have created that one also, this one for XLSX. So let's use XLSX because it's latest, and I created a function called getTestData_XLSX, which basically takes file path, obviously, and the sheet name. In the Excel spreadsheet I can put the sheet name, right, and header row number, that would be my test case name. Sorry, the header row number is the row number, okay, and test case name is test case name. So that will be test case name is in the first row. All right. So I think already shared with you guys the sample data pool. Let's see if it is still available here. Okay, so test data pool automation, this is the one I am talking. So let me just copy this and put it in C drive, because that's where I'm maintaining all the test deliverables. So I'll just go over there. And drivers you can put, but you can put another folder, it's up to you, or you don't have to put in the project itself because it becomes very cumbersome, check in check out. Okay, so for the time being I'll put it in the project itself base. That will actually be better idea, right? Okay, so okay, so let me quickly explain you, and then I'll make it part of the Git code so that you can easily get it in the code itself. You don't have to. Okay, so here this is what I was talking. This is a okay, Sam. You can I have only activation is not there, so I cannot edit it probably, or maybe I can edit. Okay, I can edit. Okay, so here this is called sheet workbook. Okay, sheet name is test data pool blah blah blah, whatever is there. Where is this? Okay, so this is the test data pool underscore automation is my sheet name. So that's one parameter I would need. Sheet name, file path is wherever I store it, sheet name, and header row number will be 8, 9, all this, right? And that is pertaining to my test case number, and test case name, whichever exactly I'm following. Yeah, this one. So it's CAP. These are the test case names, and I have added couple of columns pertaining to my application. So don't worry about this. We can add our own. So these are all like demographic data. I'll just show you so that you have an idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is like first name. Where is it, guy? Okay, so here first name and date, username, password, and gender. Okay, this is for 8-member family, so I created 8 genders. Date of birth of the first member. Date of birth I put it in terms of age, so I'll would be calculating date of birth programmatically. So if I give this 40 years age, it would give me the date of birth. So I just take it as a age one, let's say. So that's just programmatic, and so forth. Do not worry about all this. Okay, so just think about it as a data I am entering. Okay, so this will be modifying this. Okay. And this is my test case name. Okay, and this is whoever is executing or writing the test case. For let's say I can put your name in the actual project. And okay, let's go about this guy. So first we need to create modify the data pool, right? So we have one test case. I'm gonna remove all this because it's gonna confuse you guys. I mean main anyway it's shared, but we'll modify this, delete this. Stuck. Okay, deleting. There are 361 test cases. So for each record, each test case, there is a row in the data pool. That's how it works. So the columns also vary because we have less columns for our demo AUT. We'll only put those, like whatever we are using, we are passing the values for in the test case. Okay, what's going on here? It's taking a lot of time. There's a bunch of data, so it's deleting takes. Okay, anyway, meanwhile, we'll just look at the code itself. Okay, so it will take time. Okay, so like I said, I just created only 3 functions, and out of which only, I mean, we will be using only 2. So basic idea is to read the cell data from each cell and put it in a hash map. Okay, so the hash map is nothing but it's a implementation of map. Okay, map interface, and I am creating a get test data XLS function which reads from Excel cells and gives me, because there are multiple cells in a single row, I cannot return a string, right? I cannot return array as well. So what because it returns, it will corresponding to key and value pairs. So the best bet would be a string type of hash map. Okay, so just think about it as a property and value combination. So two values at the same time. So just think about it as a array with 2 dimensions. Okay, so this will return me. I'll show you the reason I'm not using string array, because I cannot get it in hash map. I can easily get. So if I pass the column name, easily it will get me its value. So that's the basic idea. So let's still okay, so here what I'm doing, let's see. So in this I am creating first instance of hash map called row data, and the hash map type is string, like I told you. It's a string, key and value both are string. I can also put like string object, whatever, but I need both key and value pairs of string, so I can create string. And I'm creating 3 variables of type HSSF sheet, workbook, and row. So just don't worry about HSSF. HSSF deals with XLS format, whereas XSSF deals with XLSX format. So HSSF normally known as horrible spreadsheet format. Okay, this is normal, not real name, but just a comic name. So here I'm creating a variable of this type, sheet, workbook, and row, and initializing with a null, sheet, workbook, and header row. All right, and TC row also. And since it's a file, I have to use the file input string. Okay, I'm just creating a variable of type file input string and initializing it to null. And file input stream, like we already seen in the property file, it will take the file path. So again, file path will be the instance of file, which takes file path as a string as input. So this will be my file path. Let's say Selenium logs, if I have it. Okay, so that's where I can put it, or I can make it part of the main, this thing, the project itself. So I'll make it part of project by, okay, I'm just thinking, should we make it part of project or put it in the local? What do you think? Should I make it a project, part of project, the Excel? You can still see it, but you cannot I mean see the differences between previous checking and current checking. Okay, so let's make it part of, because it will be available all the time, and one row or two rows you can add it in. Okay, so this will project, don't worry. And workbook, I am just creating an instance of workbook, and I'm passing the file. So this will give me the workbook. Workbook is nothing but the whole spreadsheet file. Okay, and in that I have to get a sheet, right? So sheet is nothing but this automation. So do not worry about the names. Names we have made for multiple names, like random names. So, and legend is for what green bold means, and yellow means, red means, orange means, just for putting the actual here, whether the test case passed or not. So green means it is done completely. So just a color code. And save. It's okay. I'll save it as instead. Okay, I will save it as test deliverable itself in the automation class, and let's call it test data pool only. Okay, should save it. Okay, so automation is our sheet. Okay, so that sorry, workbook. Okay, workbook I'm putting here, so I can pass workbook name, and header row will be this header row, actually the column name, and test case row will be this one. So the test case row will be identified by the, not by the column, because not by the number of row, because it can change, I can change the position. So I am identifying by the test case name itself, so it will be directly refer to this. So this will be Java class name, so test case name will be Java class name. Okay, so what just happened is I just have to add this dots, so I'll just put control. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, here. So each row has multiple cells here, right? So here first name, last name, date of birth, gender, all this. So basically I have to iterate through all the columns for a given row. Okay, so that I am doing by cell iterator, which is available in the Apache POA itself. So cell iterator, initializing starting from 0, as next will move on continuously until it doesn't find any data in any cell finally. So it will go all the way till the very end, and it will stop where I do not give any column name. So it will stop. So it will, this will be the last one. But don't worry, I am not going to put so many columns. And this will be navigated one after another cell. And finally, after reading each cell, I am just closing the workbook and closing the file. This is a good idea. Whatever, just like we close the driver finally. So we close the file. Okay. Finally, I am returning the row data. So row data will be of type what? Hash map. So all the cell data including its corresponding name. Okay, the column will be stored here. So for example, I will tell you, let's say applicant number 3. This will be my this value. Okay, so the key value, and its corresponding value is yes. Okay, so this will be yes. So just think about it as first name. Okay, so and here John. Okay, okay. Don't worry about these validations because I have added the drop downs yes or no type, so that's why it is showing validation. So this is something like yes or no type. Okay, I mean you can put the value here. Okay, so that will change. Don't worry. Okay, so that's how it is. Similar coding is done for XLSX also. Get test data XLSX. We are going to use this one, except for HSSF things. We have used XSSF classes. That's all. The logic is similar. Okay, more or less. It's just more simpler than what it is. Instead of there, here I'm just simply getting the sheet using get sheet and get row find row. Okay, T0. Okay, so it will be easy. And cell value string with this, these are called implicitly inside this, so do not worry about it. All we have to do is just download this Apache POA. So let's download the latest one, or if I have one already, let's see. Okay, Apache POA, I don't see it here, so let's download it. Okay, so what do you want to download? Which jar we are looking for? Which jar is needed? Which jar is it's showing errors about? Apache POA for ExcelSX. Okay, so let's. Okay, both ExcelSX and ExcelSX all available here. So just go to this site and download Apache POI. Look for a binary distribution, not source. Source will have only Java files, whereas binary will have class files, which we want basically. So tar.gz for Linux and Unix. So that is for Windows. Look for this zip file. So I'm downloading the zip file. Okay, so I can go for one of these mirrors. Okay, it's 634 MB or something. Okay, so let's wait. So you can download from any of these mirrors availability. So if something doesn't respond, one mirror doesn't respond, go for the other mirror, which may be faster. Basically, these are different server on different locations. Okay, so it is still not complete. Still blue color. Circle is there. Okay, let's try other one. I think this one. Okay, let's refresh the page. Okay, still downloading or I don't know. Okay, so let me use the same in the Firefox. It's faster. No meters are responding. Let's try FTP. FTP is normally faster. Okay, FTP is responding. So let's. Okay, I can take it out. This it's faster already. It takes forever to cancel this. It's coming. Mirror is maintained by Utah University. Okay, so UI 0.0 extract to C drive or somewhere. So in this, I don't need all of this. I just need this because, okay, I might take all of this. Okay, so let's take all of this just in case. Examples are just for examples. You don't need them, but I'll add all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let it finish with the extraction. Okay, I think it is extracting HTMLs. Okay, so let's move on. All I need is this. Oh, XML label. Okay, not required. Okay, so where I can put this in here, external, right? But just remember what I'm taking. POI, starting with the POI, correct? So POIs are not there, so I can all of them. So I'll go here and import it. So everything comes here finally. Okay, so these are the imported ones. How do I import? I'm importing to external because I want to differentiate between the libraries and external libraries just for easier maintenance. Add external jobs and I just added 6 POIs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay. Open, finish, apply. Okay. Okay, all the errors are gone except one. Let's see what is that error. Oh, okay, this always causes problem. Self-type string. So maybe I can find a row is really required, right? So let's see this self-type string and find a row. I would need it. XLS or XLS. Yeah, find a row is needed in XLSX. Okay, XLS doesn't need it, right? Okay, maybe we need to use the XLS only. So let's just string. Apart from that, what is the constant available? No, it's not available in this one. Cell type string, not available. So just to get going with it, I will comment this out and I will use XLS. XLSX, it's the latest jar I downloaded, so maybe this I need to do a little bit of modification. So wherever this is called in the XSF only. So I'll comment this out. Okay, and let's use XLS. Okay, so this perfectly works. Get test data XLS and returns me same thing, a hash map only, and it takes the same number of parameters: file path, sheet name, header row number. Okay. All right. So let's try to finish this XLSX, but I'm going to rename it as XLS, right? Save it as actually. Why? Because I'm going to use the other one, right? Automation class. Okay, so I have option to save it as XLS. Where is XLS? Yeah, that categorized as Excel 97 to 2003. Don't worry, some features are not available, which are not even used by us, so we can pretty much ignore them. Okay, so I'm going to rename it as this. Continue. Okay, so first of all, we have to prepare the data pool. That is first and foremost we need to do. So I'm going to go to the test case and registration. We will data drive first. Okay. So what are the data we are putting in the registration? What is the data we are inputting? What data we typed in the registration form? What kind of data we actually incorporated in the registration form for registration of flight? What is the first name we inputted in the registration? What is the first name we have inputted in the registration form?
John,
Okay, very good. And what is the last name we have inputted in the registration form?
Joel,
Okay, very good. So what is the we have to parameterize or we have to put, in other words, put in a data pool? What data we are discussing about? What is the concept we are discussing about? Data driving, right?
yeah,
So what is data driving? First of all, in data driving, we have to prepare the data pool. That means whatever data we input or wanting to input, trying to input in the application, we have to put the data in the data pool in the first place. So we have done hard coding. This is called hard coding, which is not good for the data driving testing. So all we are doing is we are putting this data instead of here. Yeah, okay, that is fine. You can ignore that. Oops. What is this? You found a problem? Do you want us to try recover? Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, XLS is not compatible. Okay, let's create the XLS on our own. Okay, that is the reason. It's all okay. XLS, this compatibility, it actually increases the size, see, and it's not compatible. Okay, no worries. I'll just open this and parallelly we will create one. So XLS, this is a wrong file. Okay, so that is the first and foremost thing you need to do. You have to prepare the data pool. So Microsoft Excel worksheet. All right, it actually created XLS. Mine is not the full version, so just a version which is trial or whatever. Save as. Okay. Now let me save this as XLS. All right, now close this. I have to do this a couple times. Okay. So here I'm going to rename it as this one. So I open this. Okay, don't worry about this fancy color coding. So that's later. Okay, so we are preparing the data pool from the scratch. Okay, so all it has to do have is the header with all the details, column names, first name, last name, and everything, and the this thing, the actual data. Okay, so I am going to prepare from the scratch, so don't worry. First row always represents a header, or whatever row you are putting header, that I have to pass the number of the header in the function. So that function will be that will be a header row number. So for example, here the header is actually third, so it will represent, it will remember this one, it will actually point to this one. So without any hesitation, I don't have to worry about these. These are just fancy things. So here, this is the actual row header, right? Okay. So here, this is I'm going to treat it as row header, but test case name first. So what is our test case name in here? What is the test case name? Test case name is this one, right? So that goes into the first row. Don't worry, you can put whatever test case. Is it the first row? No, first row is here. So test case ID is the first one. Let's create this. Test case ID, right? So the value is this one. So likewise, I'm going to create a bunch of test cases here. Okay, so I'm just putting this in the bold just to represent it's a header, and let me just put this thick border so that easily remember. Okay, so and I'm putting some borders so that it is easily. Okay, so test case ID, and let's come back to our test case. Where is the registration? Yeah, so first is first name. That is the first thing we are putting, right? So just like this, I'm putting first name, but using the little bit of nomenclature, naming convention. F small first name, and there may be multiple first names, right? First name 1, first name 2. So I'm just calling it a first name 1 for the first member, because there may be multiple members, so that we can put it as 2, 2, 3, 4. So that is later. So first name 1, and second one is last name 1. Okay, so this is always based upon your application, so do not worry about any of these fancy things. And then what is the next field we are filling in? Phone number. Okay, so there is, since there is only one phone, we don't have to maintain phone 1, 2, 3. So phone number. Okay, so that is like header. Okay, we can maintain multiple test cases here. Okay, what is the next one? This guy, email. You don't have to put text box underscore email. That is for the only page objects, because for calling. This has to be more like manual reading purpose, just like you maintain Excel spreadsheet for manual testing. Same thing here. Email. Okay, so we can create address one here. So if you want to put capital letters, that's up to you. Okay, so you don't have to maintain the same name convention that Java uses. That is totally subjective. So address line 2, I mean, and city, and state or province. So in short, I'm putting state, and postal code. Let's call it zip code. We can call it whatever you want. Zip code and username, password. That's it for the registration. At least we will do username, password. Okay, and clicking the button you don't need to put because this is not the input, it is just operation. Okay, so let's actually put the data here. Okay, so what data we can put? Just tell me. Data, actual data, or let's use a different data every time we are using John Doe, right? Okay, tell me one first name. Okay, who is on the call? Tell me your name. Let's just make it realistic. Okay, tell me. It's 9:30, right? I mean, for me it's 9:30. For you it's 10:30. We'll end in next half hour. Email takes more space. So, yeah. Okay, I'm asking a very simple questions, right? Not even coding related. So tell me. I'm just checking.
Shukla.
Shukla is the first name or last name?
Last name. First name is Shukla, last name is Dash.
Oh, first name is Shukla. But it's Shukla is normal last name, right?
Yeah, Indian people last name is Shukla.
Oh, okay. Your Bangladeshi is it's
Yeah,
Shukla.
yeah.
Okay. Last name?
Dash.
Okay. Good. Phone number. I'm just engaging you so that you don't sleep, don't fall into sleep. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay. Phone number.
Just you can put 347-985.
Don't tell me you're real. Just put it dummy. Okay. Email address.
Email address, just to put anything else.
Let's put das@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it won't send you email. Just a dummy thing. Address. Okay, it automatically. That's okay. This can be. It will be treated as this thing, text only, not email. Okay. Address. Tell me some address in New York. Realistic. Any dummy address. I don't know any address. 123 Main Street is not a dummy address, but it's okay. Address line 2 is normally optional, so you can leave it empty. City is New York City, and state is okay. State, how we are putting the whole thing or short form? New York, yeah, that's how it is accepting. So application, whatever it accepts, you have to go with it. Okay, New York. Zip code is. So all I.
No, 113. Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. Anything. Username I can put. Tell me one username, because I am putting a validation, right? Just to pass it, I'm putting username too. Okay, we can change it later, and I can remove this. Okay, so username, expected username is coming from here. Remember, so I have to remove this expected username. So let me remove this and make it data driven. Okay, so username. This is how it was. Let's say. And expected note is dummy. Okay, expected username I am using multiple times. Expected username, let's see, I think I am right. Expected, no, yeah, expected username is coming from there. So this is the expected username. So expected username, I'll put it from the data pool, so don't worry about this. So this I can pass it from here on. So that's fine, expected username. So however, I am just to get going with it, I am putting username 2 and password. What password you are putting? Password 123. Okay, so just for the one page we have finished the data pool, but there will be more for the next page also. You keep on filling like this. Okay, And for this is just for one test case. So new test case will be like this. Second test case, if at all we have test case number 3, let's say this will be different hybrid framework only, but let's say what do you want to call this, what test cases we have, even I forgot. Test cases to TC debugging, this is okay. Okay, let's make tools QA test case. Okay, maybe it's working. Cheapware you can take, or you can take a different like kayak.com, whatever. So tools QA probably has it. I commented everything, but okay. So just a dummy. If I uncommented, it will be coming. But let's say tools QA, which is a good site for practice anyway. So that has, let's say, so this will be continued. So all the test case 1, 2, 3 will be added right here, just like I showed you in here, test case number 1, 2, 3. So just for the reference I'm putting here, but this will have different data. Okay, Shukla instead here, Shanti and Das, or whatever. So this will data. So just for example, so don't worry, we'll concentrate on this. So now I saved it. All right. So now I have to pass the same thing here, but I will show you first how it works. This is very confusing. Where I am, I just lost. Okay, right here. Okay. So let me go back to Excel spreadsheet. So what I'm doing here is I am simply calling this get test data XLS, right? And passing the file path wherever it is, and sheet name is okay, sheet name is sheet1, or I can make the sheet name automation. Okay, and this is the file name. So file name will be file path and name, sheet name is the automation, and header row number is the one. Number 1 is header row number 1. I will have to pass. TC row number or name will be this one. So if I am passing number, it will be 2. I think for XSFX I am passing name. So when I explain you this, I can directly pass TC name, which is more easier. So here if we change the this, move this to somewhere here, it won't work. So let's say I am fixing this TC number 2 to row number 2. So I can pass number 2 here. Okay, and just it will return me hash map. Then I'll call all the things. Okay, so for that, in the data, which I am going to add this data pool here, one more. So test data pool class I have created. I'll just comment and show you. So basically I have to call here like this, register. So let's say John, I'm moving John here. Okay, so this will be in Excel, right? ExcelUtils dot, there is a function called get test data XLS, right? Now my Excel spreadsheet is in which location? Let me close this and close this, save this. Okay, so this is my Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so now I am putting it somewhere here in the same location. That okay, so let me create another folder here. Package folder, doesn't matter. So folder will be like this. So let's create a normal folder. Source bin. Okay, so instead of source bin, what I'll take it as is resources. Okay, because that's where my resource like data pool belongs to. So I'm creating a folder called resources. Okay, so that went all the way down. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, if I close this, yeah, resources is here. So it comes all the way down here. So it will be separate from that because this is my user. defined folder. So all I'm doing is I'm just adding this to that. You can actually dump it into the folder in the workspace, but I can put it here to paste it just like, and your data pool is right here. Okay, this will be part of check-in checkouts as well. So now I can open this here. Yeah, I can open it right in the here, but it's not recommended. So just for the easier maintenance, I can open it right here. So right within this. Okay, save it. I can modify it too. So Shanti Das, let's say, tell me the name. What is the name? Shukla. Okay, tell me any other last name. I don't know. More. Okay, so I can save it too. So Excel spreadsheet. Oh, it's not allowing me, right? Yeah, that's why I'm concerned. It's not saved. Let me close. Will modify save changes. Yes. So let's see if it is changed, updated or not. Otherwise, we'll use external open. Okay, it is saving changes. Okay, so all I'm concerned about it. Okay, let me just change it for and save it. It's not saving here, but only when upon closing it is saving. Okay, so that's a disadvantage. That's fine. Okay, so the location will be the whole thing. I'm gonna read. Let's just put it here. So string data pool path. Okay, will be where is this file? How do you know where this file is? Just go to properties. Okay, so this is the file, complete file location. So you can copy this, cancel, and I can put it here. So don't worry, I'm going to take it out from here just for the initial understanding only. Okay, so you know already what to put inside double slashes. Okay, so that is my full path, data pool path. Okay, what else we need for the ExcelUtils function file path, including the file name and sheet name. Okay, so what is the sheet name? Yes,
Automation.
correct. Sheet name is automation. I'm just creating a variable so that I can pass the variable name directly. And what else we need? ExcelUtils header row number and TC row number. Okay, so not name. So that's it. So header row number is integer. Header row number, header I'm calling. So what is its number? It's a 1. I've already showed you. And TC row number, it's a TC row number is 2. Okay. Okay. So all I have to do is I have to call that, and it will return me file path, data pool, file path, and sheet name is sheet name. There you go. And header is 1. Okay. Now this will return me whole Excel data, so I don't have to pause this here. So let me create another variable called hash map. Okay, so row data. So hash map, okay, which is basically taking key and value pair. K means key, v means value. So which is like string and string. I told you, like you just imagine it as a two variables strings combined in a single variable. Okay, so I'm calling this row data because it is written with the whole row data, right? Whole row. So I'm just putting it here. Okay, so all I did is I passed the data pool path, sheet name, header, TC into the get test data XLS, which is written in a hash map with all the row data, just whole row data, whatever number of columns it has, like 100 or 1000, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is returning me hash map, and I can call this by class name because it's static. Okay, let's go back to our here. Okay, now if I want to actually pass something like first name, now I'll come here. Okay, row data dot get. Okay, now what I want to get out of row data, the column name. If I give, it will provide me the value. Okay, simple as that. So okay, let me open this. So if you look at here, okay, so if you look at here, I want to pass first name, right? So this is my key, and this is the value it will return me, Shukla. Okay, so now I'm going back. So just concentrate here, just this time. Okay, now I just pass first name 1. Okay, that's it. So if I have multiple rows or other data, it will fetch from here only, first name 1. And if I have the same test case multiple times with the different data, it will run on all this data, okay, which is data driven testing actually, that is later. But for a different test cases, different data still it will be. And the main thing is maintainability. If I want to make this Shukla or make update it, it will still be calling this updated value, so that I don't have to even touch the test case Java class. Just go to the Excel, it will be easier to maintain. So anybody can, without knowing Java also, they can update the Excel, so that, and they can run this without having to understand this code. So that is the advantage of data code. Okay, first name I'm calling get. So you understand this, the whole this function is returning me whole row, and out of this, using this row data, I'm just getting each and every column pertaining to the my test case. Okay, so for last name, what I have to do, simple, I'll just maximize this so that you can see everything. Yeah, so for the last name, how would I fetch? Shukla das row data dot get. It's getting me the last name one. Simple as. So the key is a string. Again, you have to put it in the quotes, remember. It's a string type, and this is returning me the whole string called Shukla from here. Okay, so these values will be returned. If I pass this, it will give me this. If I pass this, this will give me this. This dot get this equals to this. If I get this, it will return me this. So that is so simple now. Data pooling is so simple. Okay, now I am removing this and passing what? Row data dot get phone. Phone or phone number, you have to exactly pass, including the case sensitivity. So you have to be careful, just copy paste from here. Phone number, if we pass small n, it won't fetch. So case sensitivity is very important. So phone number, all I have to do is I'll just copy this thing every time. And email, yeah, so email is email. So this is only one time, every time you don't have to change, so that is the advantage. And address is address 1, address line 1, right? And address line 2, I didn't put. I can put suite A, but I left it empty. That's okay. Test case will still pass. It doesn't matter. So what is the row key for address line 2? Is means column address 2. Whatever I put, I'm just getting from address 2. Then city, state, zip code, username, password. Okay. So let's do the other things. You understand, right? What I'm trying to do, I'm just parameterizing. This process called parameterizing. So these are all hard coded values. I'm replacing with a parameter. So that is called parameterization process. Row-data.get and city name is city. And row-data.get. What is the name here? State. That's what we call, right? And this we call zip code. Okay. And here Okay, expected username I'm putting from here, so I'll put it here only. So instead of there, okay, just remember you have to do this before. Okay, otherwise it won't be available. So all I'm doing is I'm just cutting this from there. I'm just simply shifting this to here because you have to read the Excel spreadsheet first, then only you can get. So if you put this before, it won't be available. Okay, so get, this will be user name. Just remove the quotes and you're fine. Okay, now it is available. Okay, so these are extra new line appendix. Okay, so that is done, and this one is row data.get. Row data.get what, and similar. So that's it. We have parameterized all the fields in the registration, just registration only. Okay, just check any errors. Expected note is not available. Why? Because it's not initialized before. So all I have to do this is expected note is a part of registration. Okay, expected note is coming double time, right? No, okay, it's already there, so I don't have to declare. Okay, so now everything looks ready. So just make sure you save everything and close this data pool. You can use I mean you can open outside the Eclipse. It's not really required to open. So you know how to open it outside? Yes. So the path is automation project, right? So I'll go there. Not this one. Okay, so in the Selenium tutorial, I created a folder here, and this is where I can open. Simple, so that it won't create any hassles. Murthy. So let's say Murthy. Okay, so I can save it. So whatever I put here, it will put the same thing in the test case. Now let's quickly run and see if it is working fine or not. Okay, there is an error in test data pool. Just okay, so this I am going to show you later. I mean after this running. So what I'm trying to do is I'm calling the test data get same function ExcelUtils dot get test data XLS, passing these values from constants, and so that I can call this in my test case directly. Instead of calling this, I'll call the test data pool. So this is like what do you call constructor. So the class name is test data pool and the function name is test data pool, and it's default. It's not even taking any parameters, so it is called default constructor. So the moment I instantiate test data pool in my test case, it will be called, and in that automatically I am doing these things. I'm calling the whole test data pool, reading and everything, and storing the row data. Okay, so this I can do. The reason why it is showing is because we commented this test data.xls, right? So I just comment it here too, and then we can come back to this data. Okay, so all I to pass this is I can parameterize, but since our is same thing, I can just change this path there, and the row number, header number is this, and our test case number is 2. Correct. If you look at it, row number, header number is 1, row number is 2. That's what we have done. And what else? Constants. Okay, so this thing might change. So it's not in Selenium log. So all the constants I am storing here. Remember screenshots, location, and everything. So I'll do this. This is no longer useful. So okay. So where is this guy in the registration? I put this path. So this path is actually going to be there in the constants. So test data pool XLS. So all I can put is this one. Okay, so this is actually in Selenium logs, which is not appropriate place. So I made it part of our own. Okay, all right. Okay, so one more thing is, instead of using double slash like this, you can use single slash backward. Okay, the forward slash. Okay, so that is another advantage. So I'll keep both examples here. So one normal path is represented by this backward slash backslash. Okay, and if we want to use it within a quotes, you have to escape, use another backslash. So to avoid this, we just use one front slash, forward slash. Okay, so this equals to this, just for your information. Okay, so I'll just comment here, double slash like this equals to single slash. Either you can use this or that. Okay, now getting back to the test case, we will quickly run, no errors. Okay. And after this okay, so now it is not entering anything, so we have made a mistake. So let's see, without entering this data you cannot submit this page, so that's the problem. And let's see what happened in the logs. WebDriver exception unknown, key should be a string. Yeah, so somewhere down the line we have made a mistake, so let me go to that down line. Okay, so this is our register, right? Yeah, so here I'm trying to fetch row data.get. So let's see, somewhere why it is failing in operations, it failing because it's not getting anything. Row data.get first name 1 is not fetched. So let's check our data pool. First name 1 is there, right? Okay, first name 1. Okay, so I think the spreadsheet, this test case name is not passed properly. Let's just do that. Test case name is okay, so we can actually do this test data pool, but I want to show you this later. Test data pool will do the same thing pretty much. Okay, all I have to do this is come here, and here I can just instantiate this data pool. Yeah. Okay, so one way is test data pool. Just create a new instance of test data pool. So this might throw error. Change visibility. Okay, so that's not public. Okay, now it is public. Okay, so this is one way, but I wanted to do this later. So in the registration, where is this guy? Okay, so it is not reading. Let's see what's exact error. Unknown error. Key should be string. Okay, keys should be a string. So we are actually passing a string. Correct. First name 1. Okay, same thing for keys should be a string, and this is occurring at phone number. So basically same error occurred at each and everything. WebDriver unknown because key should be a string. Okay, so that is occurring directly in the operations. So next thing is operations. It's actually not getting. Oh, okay, so this is complaining about send keys needs a string, and it is getting a null object as object. So the problem is row data.get is not working. Okay, so let's try it out. Without trying, we directly incorporate in the test case. So we'll just try it out here. So I'll take the whole line. Okay, so I'll put the same line simplicity debugging. So this is a good way. Always debug your function before using in the test case. Okay, so C automation project, Selenium tutorial resources, and just make sure you close this because sometimes if you open, it's not available. This DateUtil_automation.xls perfect, and it's in the resources, right? And automation header 1, 2. Okay. So now I'll simply try to create a string called first name and row data dot get first name 1. Okay, so this should give me the first name, and let me print it to the console to see. First name. Okay, so all these things are already done. Okay, but let me just keep them. It doesn't matter. So you can try all these things. Folder path. Folder path. Again, pause. ExcelUtils. Okay, so that's where screenshot was stored. Let's provide the error and just running this. Okay, probably it will throw error right here for the Excel spreadsheet thing. So it is trying to read. Okay, these are all previous examples. Okay, first name is null. Yeah, that is the reason. So now we can clearly see first name is clearly coming as null. That means it is not writing or the location is wrong. So let's see. So why it is taking the first name wrong? Even though I gave the test case name is wrong. Okay, so this test case is TC debugging, right? So TC underscore debugging. Let's go here. Actually, so test case name I should mention somewhere. You got the point, right? Test case name I am not mentioning, so it doesn't know where to get it. So data pool path sheet name header num. Oh, I already gave TC number. I don't need to pass the TC. TC number is 1, 2, or do I need to add start from 0? Let me just check. Header starts from 1. Okay, maybe it starts from 0 and this is 1. So null is coming because it's not finding it there. Okay, so now it is coming. So the problem is the first row is 0th row, not the first row, and it starts from 0. You got the point, right? So let me just quickly show. This is normally occurs, even the arrow start from 0. So don't go by this one. The first header row number is 0. So then 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So that was a mistake. So now so we have found out the issue, correct? And it's actually reading the name Shukla. So the TC debugging is a good way. So all you have to do is 0th row is the first row, header row is the 0, so T0 is 1. So let me go back to register and header is 0, TC is 1. Okay, so I'll just make a note of here. Excel's first row is 0. Okay, so always start from 0. Okay, now let's run the test case again and see. So this time around it should work because it will read the appropriate values. It will enter the values from the data pool. Let's see. Okay, so now it is entering. Perfect. Username is something went wrong. So let's check the username. Now this is what we have today written. Null point exception is coming because it couldn't find the username. So let's see in the register. Yeah. Text no. Okay, that is later, but username is missed out. Yeah, because text name is dependent upon the username, right? So it should be string. Okay, wait, this is occurring. Register 61 username expected. So let's just find out what went wrong with the username. Expected username is coming from where? Here, row data.get username, right? So this is coming as null. So what could be the issue? Name could be the issue. Just check. Yeah, so I told you username N capital, correct? And what we are using, what we are putting here, N small. So now let's rerun. Oh, no. Test case number 2, run as Java application. If you don't see Java application, then that means it's not executable. Just make sure you right click on the right test case. Okay. Now username is filled, so it can find. So what is the bottom line? You have to enter the exact key name from that row header in the data pool. Otherwise, it won't read. Okay, now this will. So basically, this data that we entered, it's coming from data pool. So that is a data parameterization of data-driven thing. So next class we will data drive all the rest of the pages and using the data pool, and we will see the data XLSX format also, and I will show you how to run the same test cases in automation script in different browser like Firefox. We have been only driving this test case in the Chrome drive using Chrome driver, right? So next class I will show you in the Firefox driver. So for that Firefox, we will use Gecko driver. So I already downloaded it. Okay. So this time around it is actually taking time because of the site issue, not our issue. So let's see. Let's wait for some. We have used implicit wait, right? Not the explicit wait. If you use the explicit wait like thread.sleep 10, it would have failed by now. So implicit wait actually takes care of it. What is wrong with this? It's taking too much time. Okay, let me wait for 5 more seconds and restart this. No. So it's waiting. Okay, it waited for 20 seconds. Okay, so sometimes environmental issues cause this. Okay, let me start. So if you look at this one, it waited for implicitly 20 seconds. So the application couldn't wait, couldn't respond. So it throws no such window exception. Window is not, it's not getting the next window, next page after registration. That's why. So let me rerun this. So mostly if you rerun, issues will be resolved, but unless it's a real development issue, sometimes environment issues can be resolved by restarting. Okay, anyway, this page is filled with the data coming from data pool. That's what I wanted to show you. So that is done. So rest we have already been seeing. So that is case running. I don't know why it is just going circles here. Waiting for, okay. Onset response, it's fine. So let's just check the logs so far. Yeah, screenshot is captured and all these values are set from the data pool. So correctly, these values are coming from the data pool and logging is done properly, the timestamps. Let's see, it is still waiting. So this, you have to remember the screenshots also, which is being covered in the screenshot section, and where the screenshots are stored in C drive, where the screenshots are stored, Selenium logs, right? Yeah, here. And it is overwriting and keeping the old. So we will also delete the old screenshots. That is, yeah, okay, it is moving. Fine. Okay, so that's completed. Okay, so without any hesitation, it passed. So today what we have seen is the same test case, but with a data-driven approach. These values are coming from data pool, and data pool is this one. I put it as a part of project itself. Okay, so now you can add this, add, modify, delete the data rows at your will. Okay, so tomorrow if you are going for a different page, what we have to do, we have to add these, correct, add the rest of the values. What are those rest of the values? Coming from next flight finder. So in the flight finder, what are the values we are inputting here? Number of passengers departing from in the month and in the date and arriving at. Okay, so these values must go in here. Okay, so can you update this spreadsheet and send me back? It's a very easy. So just look at this. I'll show you one more example. So next one is number of passengers, right? You can also input this one, but number of passengers is inputable, I mean, here. So let's put, so just to get you going, I'm entering this page. Okay, number of passengers. Okay, so for the test case we are putting 2. Same thing, depart from. Okay, depart from value is, what is the value depart from? Yeah, so you don't have to use quotes here because this is already a string. Excel. Oh, so I put it at the wrong place. So just remember, in the same test case you have put not down and departing on month. So you just explicitly say what on month will not be understandable. So depart on month, or just say department. It is totally up to you what names you give. Just make sure you give the same names in the dot get, row data dot get in the test case. So depart dot month will be November, and depart day will be what, 25, and arriving in Paris. Okay, so arriving. Okay. So this is how you prepare the data pool and go to the right and save. So these data will be saved for this next page also I have done. So similarly, you can do for the rest of the pages. So what are the rest of the pages? I'll just quickly show you. Select flight page. So all this data. Select flight, I don't know if anything is inputable. Okay, so the flight information, the radio button, actually you cannot put, but you can put something, text in the radio button. Okay, and then valid price, passengers info here. All this data must go into the data pool. and final valid flight confirmation. There is nothing inputted, right? So you don't have to put anything in the Excel spreadsheet. That's it. 2 more pages. So let me do that. Depart flight. Depart flight has nothing. So radio button. So I'll leave this. Directly will come to the book a flight, and here, yeah, same thing. So wherever you are using the same thing, you don't have to worry about. Okay. So here I'm putting John Doe and second name Tamina Alam, right? So this we can put. So just make sure you put this one. So first name 2 we haven't added, correct? So you can add it right here. So let's call this first name 2, last name 2. So I can put this data here. Last name 2. So this will be, you can get it here. I mean, we will get it later, but I'm not putting, I'm just getting data pool. And this data, all the hard data, so I can add it the very end. So don't worry about expanding. You can expand at the very end. So just if you do this and do just double click on it, automatically it will expand according to the size. So you can just first see. Okay. So here, studio, and then number. You can pretty much copy it from here, just excluding the type. Just make sure you put small letter, and this goes here. And next one is expiration month. I can put it as this. So don't worry, you can change this later. The small letter. That's 12. Okay, sometimes it automatically appends this 15, right? So I'll show you how to deal with this. So when you do this, right, just put a apostrophe in between, in front. So automatically it treats it as a string. Otherwise, it will calculate its whole thing. So that's very important. Just put an apostrophe in the beginning. It will treat total literal. Otherwise, it will put something into e to the power of something. So that's not good for us. Okay, credit card expiration. Month is over. Then where is this? Okay, drop down. Okay, so here is 2009, whatever. Okay, so then that's it. And book a flight. After that, valid confirmation. Don't have anything here. This is just pretty much your validating and price and everything. So that's it. So you come here and click on the first. Yeah, everything is visible. So that's a total data pool preparation. So I'll close this, and next class we will actually get it from data pool. I mean raw data, just the way we did it in here in page flows registration, right? Register, we have done already. Raw data gate, same thing we will do in the other class. So that's all for today, guys. See you next class. Any doubts? You can ask me any doubts in the interview purpose also. So that anyway, I'll take that interview point of view, one session at the very end. But yeah, I think it's very late today, 11:30 for you, right? So I'll end this session today here, and I'll put the code and send the notes. No notes for today, but I'll put the code. Just make some notes for myself. Okay, so see you in the next class. Good night. I'll just put the notes. You can leave.
Last class, it didn't send the constant file because
Oh, constant was showing. Sorry. Okay, my
yeah,
mistake. I didn't add. Okay, I'll add this. Right.
because I downloaded the screenshot and then sometimes
Correct.
yeah.
If I add it to index, yeah, now I'll be able to. So all I have to do is just add it to the index. I forgot. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I'll add this spreadsheet to the index too. Now it will be part of GitHub. Okay, so anything else I'm missing, you can tell me right away. Today I've taken, okay, these, right? The file system utils, ExcelUtils, DateUtils, and what else? Password utils I haven't showed you yet. So yeah, so these three things I have to add. Okay, so that's it. I think these are all updates. The page flows that I'm telling you, right? These are all updates. So automatically they will be part of latest GitHub. So let me push it right away. Did I miss anything? Everything is going right. Did I teach about new class that I haven't added? No. String utils is already part. So keyboard utils, I have to tell you later. I mean, these are commented right now. Even, oh, these are not commented, right? Okay, I'll anyway. But I don't want to commit before explaining, so that's why I'm leaving this. So, and I can easily remember if I have question mark, I have to explain. So database, next class definitely. And the data driving, everybody understood, right? Data driving is this same thing. You have to just put that raw data dot get in each class. Okay, so all I have to do this is, okay, if I directly right click on project, it won't push these question mark files, I guess, right? Or should I push everything? Let me push it. I think this won't go. So let me push the whole thing, save everything.
And this is better. You can push whole things.
Yeah, I'll push whole thing. So it will only take those are added and those are updated already. It won't consider these question mark ones, which are not indexed. So that's fine. Okay, so what we have learned today, I'll put the commit message. Tell me what we have learned so far.
Excel sheet is right.
Okay, added some utils, right? Added DateUtils and what utils? Just for your reference, file system utils and LogUtils is already done. DateUtils, file system utils, and ExcelUtils. FileUtils, I would say. FileUtils. ExcelUtils is for data pool, and importantly,
DateUtils.
data-driven testing is done. So, what should I say? Implemented is for interface again. So, incorporated data-driven concept and added DateUtils, FileUtils, ExcelUtils. Okay, perfect.
You have all the jars because sometimes you download it.
Jars, okay. You want me to put it in the GitHub, whole jars, or just
Yeah. GitHub, I link the GitHub. Yeah,
that
that's
will be
all
too
that.
much?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Committed. Jars will be size of like in MBs, like.
I know, but sometimes we download it and then yeah, because lots of
Okay,
jar
so
needed.
let's see. Nobody puts jars in the GitHub, but let's see where it. Okay, just now I added this, right? Where is this? Selenium WebDriver, yeah, incorporated data-driven concept, yeah. So, okay, tell me how to put jars, the libs and external libs, these things, two things. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea because Excel also I'm putting data pool. So let's. So I don't think we can add this to. Oh, we can, right? Shukla, we can add this to.
Which one? An Excel file?
No. The jars you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, I need the jar. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's see. Jars can go into the turnout. Okay. I just added jars. Oh no, no, no. Alerts. These are going. Oh, wait a second. I just added all this. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to add these and libraries. Okay, you don't need JRE system libraries because it will automatically come with.
Yeah, this one is automatically for Java.
Okay, okay. Yeah, all I have to do is the jars are there, right? So I have to
The
add
library
them
file,
separate.
yeah, library file is from Java.
Library and external. So I have to basically they belong to Selenium. Yeah. Where are those jars? No, no. C drive, automation. Where are those jars? I just put the jars right somewhere. C drive,
Driver?
drivers, yeah.
Driver.
Drivers and external. Yeah, these two folders I have to add, but I cannot add it from Eclipse because you see when I right click there is no, it doesn't show add index. So I have the folders. Now, how do we add these folders here? So one thing I can do, that's why I don't think nobody in the GitHub adds the jars, external jars. That's I have not seen anywhere. It's not possible because you cannot make those jars as a part of your project. These are external. So what I'll do is I'll add it to the drive. Let's see. I mean the Google Drive. Drive. Okay, so drive.
Selenium note or Selenium note, you can add the directory, whole directory. It is possible.
Selenium, no, say it again.
And the directory, whole directory, added the directory.
Whole directory, yeah,
Yeah,
drive,
library. Yeah, this
right?
is the
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Maybe all the
So
jar is
drivers,
there.
yeah, correct. I can put the whole
Yeah,
driver. Yeah,
yeah,
these
whole driver.
external are not useful, so I am putting it
Mm-hmm,
outside.
mm-hmm.
Lot of. So we will go need base, but I will put the whole drivers. So I am just checking which drive. This is a Sangam.tech matrix. Wait a minute. Sangam, yeah, this is the one. Okay. So Eclipse project is the one shared with you, right? Yeah, right. Okay. So I am putting the whole drivers here. Is it okay? So whole drivers I am adding.
Because we need the jar, we have downloaded it.
Correct. Yeah, you can download the whole folder. Okay. Now it is adding like there are 73 files. Yeah. So it will add the whole folder. Yeah. So right here, folder. So Eclipse project folder, you just right click on the folder and download. So exactly you put the drivers folder in the C drive. That's it. Everything is set. Yeah. So yeah, this will take some time, Shukla. So you can, are you checking right now? You can see the drivers folder. That means you can access. Can you check quickly? Yeah, I think it, yeah, it's almost done. Let's wait. 63, 64.
3 5, too much.
Yeah, there are too many drivers, I mean jars, right? External
Yeah.
jars are like 50, I think. So that's, I mean, those are required. External jars are like 55. Remaining are all internal, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I think it's 71, come on, 72, 73. Okay, done. Okay, can you see this drivers folder? Then you can download. Can you quickly check? I don't know whether the folder within a folder is. Yeah, it shows the symbol, this person symbol. That means it is there. And I have to add the whole project also. I am forgetting this. Because most people are not even going to GitHub. They are just referring to the Google Drive only. So I'll just add this. Oh, I have to just export it. tutorial. This is going to automation class. Selenium tutorial. I'm just replacing the hold on. Target directory doesn't exist. Automation underscore class. Okay. That's the latest one, 158 KB Selenium tutorial. So this is the older version. Even versions also you can access the older version in the managed versions. So see, there are a couple of versions which you can download, but this is only available for 30 days. So, but that's not required anyway. So I'm adding this. Okay, so done. Drivers you can access, right? Everybody can access, and I have added the latest project also to Google Drive as well as GitHub, so everybody can access everything. Okay, guys. So I'll end this session today here, and talk to you later.
Right.
All right. Bye bye. Yeah.
Bye bye.